To make the jewelry box, I will be using balsa wood. This is 1/32 of an inch. It's paper thin, and that is exactly what I need. The dimensions of my box will be 3/4 of an inch by 1/2 of an inch. If you want the dimensions in centimeters, we will do 1.5 by 2. Okay, and all 4 sides. Just gonna cut a little piece. I always use the side that doesn't have the sticker, so I always know what it is. This can also be cut with an X-Acto knife. Okay, and I'm gonna attempt to do this. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I'm gonna use a die. This die cutter does not claim to cut through balsa wood, but at the very least, it's going to emboss it if it doesn't cut through it. So this is the part, the side that cuts, and then envelope it. Run it through the die cutter. This is the diamond press. It's one of the smallest that I could find. Okay, those are my markings. That's my 3/4 of an inch. And then I'll set it right in the center slot. This could also be cut with an X-Acto knife. This is going to be the base. 3/4 of an inch and 1/2 of an inch in the depth. It's a really tiny box, but if I make it any bigger, it won't fit inside the, it will not fit on top of my dresser. Wow, where do I hold it from? It gives you almost no room to hold it. Wow, this is a tiny little box. And of course, all of the sides, as we normally do, we have to sand all of the edges lightly, because anything that I take off is going to change the dimensions. So I'm not going to put a lot of pressure, because if I put a lot of pressure, it can actually move it from underneath the ruler. Measure twice, cut once, because this can very easily get crooked. So I have my bottom right here, my back, this is the front, one side, other side, and this is the top. I put a little bit of glue right here, and now I'm gonna do my Lego trick, because I can never know how to do right angles unless I have a little bit of help. And actually, I think this one has to go like this. Okay, a few seconds for it to dry. Then I'll prepare the other side. Okay, this one is going to go, this bottom right here goes against the base of the jewelry box, and then this goes against the back. So I have to put the glue in the right place. And then this is the corner. Here is my little box, and this is the lid. Now I have to do the most delicate part of my project, which is adding a hinge. Adding a hinge has always been a little bit challenging for me. I think what I have to do is I have to secure these two pieces just as they are. So this is just temporary so that they don't move around when I'm trying to get in there and install the hinge. This is what I bought at the regular hardware store. These are the smallest one. For this dollhouse, they're gigantic. This is the next size. This I purchased online, any website that sells dollhouse items. These ones came with my furniture kit, but they don't come with the kit. The person who sold it to me added a few things, and I think those are absolutely perfect. These are going to be inside hinges, and I think that I should use this glue. However, I'm a little bit afraid because this glue can glue your fingers together. If these two are not perfectly in one line, then the whole thing doesn't work. Maybe I should secure it to the mat as well. So I have them right on the line of my mat. And I have to make sure that's the case on both sides. And then I'll secure it on the other side. I don't want to mess this up. This glue dries quickly, so I won't have a lot of opportunities to readjust. I think I'm ready. And now let me see, when I hold this, which of the tweezers will work better. And I think these are the ones. I have to make sure that that flap is pressed against the little box. I think it did it. But see, now my fingers are starting to want to stick to the toothpick. Okay, next one. Okay, now to glue the other side. And the same thing on the other side. Well, let's see if it worked. If it worked, I'm going to be able to close it. And if I put too much glue, what will happen is that the hinge is glued open and it will not close. So let's see. Oh my goodness, it did work. Having installed the hinges now, I can go ahead and start doing the staining. I'm going to use this stain that has a weird color because I haven't used it for anything else. And it should also not be exactly the same as the top of the dresser so that it can stand out. And remember when we were trying to put this through the diamond press? Well, when it finally did go through, this is what came out. It's really pretty. And then the tiny little cutouts, little hearts, I'm gonna save those. Look at that tiny little heart. I'm gonna save that for other project. For now, I'm gonna glue some onlay right here. And this one I'm going to stain with the different colors so that there is a contrast. These, by the way, are markers to touch up wood furniture from the dollar store. And it comes in a set of 3. And I think I've had them a little bit too long because they're starting to dry up. So this probably will be the last project that I use them for. Yeah, they start, when they were new, the color would really come out. But it's good to use things all the way to the end. I'm gonna try to keep the cutouts free of glue so that it doesn't get abstracted. Now this goes onto the box. Okay, here's the little box. Have you ever seen a jewelry box that just has wood inside? Neither have I. So we're gonna have to upholster the inside of the box. I have this little bag that came in a box of jewelry, and it actually looks and feels like faux suede. And it's a neutral color. This side is stained, so I'll use this side. And I only need a tiny little bit. Okay, this should be more than enough. Okay, we have the inside, the bottom, and then we'll do the sides. Same thing. Here we have our little box. It has the detail on the front, the cutouts one on the top. It is fully lined inside. Now I wish I would have used a color that stands out because it's very similar to the color of wood, but we know it's there, so that's what counts. Here is the strand of pearls. We have the gold bangle. We have the gold chain necklace with a ruby. We have the matching ring with the ruby. And we have the diamond ring. And we have the studs, the pearls. These are the earrings that match the strand. And they all fit comfortably. It closes. I'm going to leave it a little bit open. And now we can go on the dresser or vanity. And it's looking prettier and prettier. Thank you, you guys. I appreciate you taking the time to watch. It's always fun not to work alone because I share all of these projects with you. And enjoy the rest of your day. From Dollhouse.